scary stories with cliffhanger endings. Number 1. Don't watch the live stream. Lena was obsessed with paranormal live streams. Most were fake, but one channel terrified her. No Face Live. The streams appeared randomly with no warning, no titles, no commentary, just shaky footage from abandoned places, and every stream ended the same way. The camera operator started screaming, then the video cut to black. Nobody knew who ran the account. One night at 3:04 a.m, Lena got a notification. No Face Live. Live now. She clicked instantly. The stream showed a flashlight beam moving through an old hospital corridor. Rusted beds lined the walls. Something wet dripped in the darkness. The viewer count climbed rapidly. 20,000 watching. The camera entered a room filled with children's drawings. Every drawing showed the same thing. A tall figure with no face. Comments flooded the screen. Turn around, it's behind you. Run. The camera slowly turned. Nothing there. Then the stream audio picked up breathing. Not from the camera operator, from directly beside Lena. She muted the stream immediately. The breathing continued. Lena's blood ran cold. Very slowly, she turned toward her dark bedroom doorway. A figure stood there, tall, featureless, its skin pale as bone. Her phone vibrated with a new notification. No Face Live has started streaming from your location. The live stream showed her bedroom, showed her frozen in bed, and behind her, the faceless thing slowly raised one long finger to where its mouth should have been, telling the audience to stay quiet. Before Lena could scream, the live stream viewer count jumped to 666,666. Then the comments started typing on their own from her account. We can see you too. Number 2. The apartment above mine. The apartment above Marcus had been empty for months. At least, that's what the landlord claimed. But every night at exactly 2:17 a.m, footsteps crossed the ceiling. Slow. Heavy. Back and forth. Marcus worked construction. He woke up at 5 every morning. After 2 weeks without sleep, he snapped. He marched upstairs and banged on the door. No answer, but he heard movement inside. The knob slowly turned. The door creaked open just enough for Marcus to see darkness inside, and an eye watching him. Can I help you? Whispered a woman. Marcus blinked. The landlord said this apartment was vacant. It is. The door slammed shut. The footsteps stopped for 3 nights after that. Then they returned. Only now they sounded different. Not footsteps. Dragging, like something heavy being pulled across the floor. At 2:17 a.m, Marcus finally climbed the fire escape and looked through the apartment window. Inside, the room was completely empty. No furniture, no lights, no woman. Yet, in the centre of the floor sat a single chair facing the window. Someone was sitting in it. Marcus could only make out the silhouette. Tall, too tall. Its head nearly touched the ceiling. Then it stood. The figure unfolded upward in jerking movements, limbs stretching longer and longer. Marcus stumbled backward on the fire escape. The thing words appeared on the fogged window from the inside. "I found you again." Marcus nearly fell trying to climb down. When he burst into the lobby, shaking and breathless, the landlord stared at him in confusion. "You went into 4B?" he asked. Marcus nodded. The landlord's face turned white. "There is no 4B. Upstairs, something began dragging itself slowly across the ceiling directly above them. Number 3. The knock beneath the floorboards. When Ellie inherited her grandmother's cottage on the edge of the moors, everyone in the village told her the same thing. Never stay through the night. Nobody explained why. The cottage itself looked harmless enough. Small stone walls, crooked chimney, faded curtains that smelled faintly of lavender and rot. Ellie laughed off the warnings. Villages always had ghost stories. That's what happened when people got bored. Her grandmother, Miriam, had died alone at 87. At least, that's what the police report said. The first night passed quietly. Rain tapped against the windows while Ellie unpacked boxes in the living room. Around midnight, she heard a soft knock. 3 taps, directly beneath her feet. She froze. Knock, knock, knock. It sounded hollow, like someone trapped under the floorboards. Ellie crouched, pressing her ear to the wood. Silence, then a whisper. "Ellie." She stumbled backwards so fast she hit the fireplace. Her breathing turned shallow. Maybe pipes, she told herself. Old houses make noise, but the whisper had known her name. The next morning she asked the villagers about the cottage. Every single person avoided eye contact. Finally, the baker muttered, "Your grandmother should have left that thing buried." What thing? But he refused to say more. That night the knocking returned. 3 taps, then 6, then endless pounding beneath the floor. Ellie grabbed a hammer from the kitchen and ripped up one of the loose boards in the living room. Underneath was dirt, fresh dirt, and something moved inside it. She aimed her phone flashlight downward. A human hand burst from the soil. Ellie screamed and scrambled back as pale fingers clawed upward, dragging mud across the wood. Another hand appeared, then a face. A woman. Her eyes were sewn shut with black thread. The woman's mouth opened impossibly wide. "Your grandmother fed me," she croaked. "Now it's your turn." The floorboards around Ellie began to bulge. Knocking erupted everywhere beneath the cottage. Dozens of fists, dozens of voices, and then someone whispered directly behind her, "You opened it." Number 4. Last passenger. Darren drove the late-night bus route because nobody else wanted it. Route 66 ran through empty countryside between 2 dying towns. No traffic, no lights, just long roads swallowed by fog. Easy money. At 1:13 a.m. he stopped at an abandoned station where nobody had waited for years. Yet tonight, someone stood there. A little girl. She wore a yellow raincoat and held a stuffed rabbit with one button eye missing. Darren opened the doors. "You alone?" he asked. The girl nodded silently and sat at the very back of the bus. The moment she boarded, the overhead lights flickered. Darren checked the mirror. The girl stared directly at him without blinking. Darren's waiting somewhere, he asked. No answer. Rain hammered the windshield harder now. The road ahead disappeared into white mist. Then the radio crackled alive. A woman's frantic voice burst through the static. Driver, if you picked up the girl, do not let her stay on the bus. Darren nearly swerved. What the hell? She died 10 years ago tonight, the woman cried, and every driver who lets her finish the route disappears. The radio cut out. Darren's hands tightened around the wheel. He looked in the mirror. The back seat was empty. Cold breath touched his neck. A tiny voice whispered beside his ear. You weren't supposed to tell him. The bus engine died instantly. Everything went dark. Outside the windshield, figures began emerging from the fog. Passengers, dozens of them, all pale, all soaking wet, and every one of them stared directly at the bus door, waiting to get back on.